is going on, everybody? Twigger here with another high ELO commentary featuring SaintVicious, currently the coach of Curse Gaming. Well, one of the coaches for Curse Gaming, at least. Now, SaintVicious has probably one of the oldest careers in League of Legends. He was actually playing in the early beta, and for some of you guys who don't know, he was known for CLG play as a jungler there, but he was actually one of the original members of Team Solo Mid way back in the beta days. And then he left TSM, joined CLG, and he actually was the replacement jungler for Kobe24. Yeah, the commentator of the LCS, Kobe, used to be the jungler for CLG way back when. I remember watching their games. But SaintVicious, he's had such a long career and in so many seasons now, playing in as a jungler, and then I'm actually going to talk about a little bit of a gank that we've got going down in this. Holy crap, the damage on this Vel'Koz. So there you go. Hopefully that one's done. Put on the directed cam so we don't miss anything. But yeah, he was kind of in the LCS this season as a support for Cop in Curse Gaming, but later he kind of dropped off and Bunny Fufu ended up replacing him, and I don't know, he's kind of been around and then not around, and he's just always seeming to pop up in the LCS scene, and he always makes his way into competitive play somewhere. But we have a great gank coming up here in the top lane. SaintVicious doing a lot of damage to Pantheon, but it doesn't look like he's going to go down first. They are going to get the first blood on Renekton, and SaintVicious is now trying to chase down this Shyvana. It's not going to happen though. But hey, you know, he got a kill, and it's actually a very worthwhile trade there. They did lose first blood, which does kind of suck, but the important thing is that Pantheon, the enemy team's jungler, lost both of his buffs, and he gave Curse SaintVicious a reset on his buff. So it's going to give him a lot more ganking power in the next couple minutes of this game, while Pantheon is going to struggle a little bit with his ganks. Basically, Pantheon will be able to jump in there to get some damage off, but will not be able to really chase people down. So SaintVicious just doing what he can at this turret, and it looks like we have Pantheon coming in just to kind of thwart that push a little bit. Yeah, it seemed to be kind of a standard game so far, but what I really want to talk about here are a couple of the picks. I'm really excited to see Vel'Koz in the game. Oh, it looks like we're actually going to have a dive here on Pantheon. SaintVicious is going to have to repel away. He is going to get away, and that's going to be a free kill on Pantheon. SaintVicious picking that one up. He's now 2-0-0, so great little start to him. Always love it when our featured player ends up doing pretty well. But it is still very early on in this game. But a couple of the picks that I'm excited about. I don't believe I've actually commentated a high ELO Vel'Koz game yet, so I'm very excited to see Vel'Koz in the mid lane. There's been a lot of mixed opinion on him, especially from, I remember that, God, who was it? It was Froggen and Overpow from Team Rocket and Alliance did a interview just kind of talking about what they think Vel'Koz is going to bring to the scene, whether or not we're going to see him, and they both had kind of differing opinions on him, but neither one of them thinks that he's going to be kind of contested pick in the LCS anytime soon, because he's apparently very easily counterable. I've only played him a few times, but he was fun when I played him. But a couple of the other picks I want to mention here, Janna being a very unconventional pick. Rarely see Janna nowadays. That gank was just kind of thwarted in the bot lane, but Janna rarely comes up. I don't think she's been played in the Season 4 LCS. Used to be one of the best champions back in the Season 2 LCS days. But as of, well, sorry, not the Season 2 LCS days. There was no Season 2 LCS days, but the professional scene in Season 2, she was definitely well known and was picked very frequently. But the other pick that is very strange, Irelia in the mid lane. I've never seen it before. And going up against the Vel'Koz, I know that having a gap closer is an amazing thing against Vel'Koz. Because if you can dodge his E, his little knock up there, then you can get right in and he's not going to have any way of really stopping you. So SaintVicious doing a nice little 2v1 here, doing a ton of damage to this Kate. The exhaust having to be burned out SaintVicious, so that was a great play on his part. And it looks like he's actually going back in here. The knockup from Janna going to thwart that a little bit, and he's just going to kind of run, see if he can land a cocoon. Nope, he's just going to back off of that one. But it looks like Vel'Koz might be trying to come in here and make something happen. SaintVicious is not going to land the cocoon, but here comes Vel'Koz. The great ultimate coming down. The laser beams of destruction. Going to get that double kill for Vel'Koz. He's going to have to probably flash over this wall. He is going to flash over, and sad thing for Pantheon, those past couple deaths have made him flashless. So Vel'Koz coming in there with a great laser beam. I'm trying to remember what it is. Life Form Disintegration Ray. What a great name for a spell. I will admit it is a very fun spell to cast. What I would really love to see is if like you had two Vel'Koz's casters against each other, or like a Vel'Koz and a Lux, and they both cast their ultimate. You have one of those like Dragon Ball Z moments where the beams are like going against one another and they like push back, and maybe you have to like click Q a lot of times or something like that to make it go off harder. I don't know. I think that'd be kind of funny. Sorry, nerdy Dragon Ball Z days. Like if you like Dragon Ball Z. But we have the Battle of the Bruisers up in the top lane, and Shyvana is really losing this one. The flash coming over Renekton is not going to be enough to kill Shyvana, getting out there with barely any health. But I'm surprised Shyvana kind of wanted to take that fight there, even with how much armor she has. But here comes the Pantheon Grand Skyfall. This is going to land pretty much perfectly. Going to block Thresh off completely. I'm assuming they're going to give this one over to Kate, if they can actually give this one over to Kate. The flash coming out, and there we go, is going to be the kill. Oh, but look at the great lockup in the turret range, and there's going to be a kill going for the Lucian against that Caitlyn. And Renekton going to take down that top tier turret, but we also had a kill in the mid lane. SaintVicious picking that one up. I do want to see what's going on here. It's just a good gank, it looks like. Really trying to get into the Vel'Koz to try to pick him off, but a nice barrier is going to actually seal the deal on that one. And so, wow, a lot. Oh, you know what? It just occurred to me. I'm making some Dragon Ball Z references, and we've got a Vegeta in here. What up? I do not remember Vegeta being black, but maybe that's like Super Saiyan, I don't know, 5 or something like that. I think they already have 4. I can't remember. It has been so long since I've watched Dragon Ball Z. I'm going to have to go back and watch those. Those were always fun. But we have another gank coming in from the Pantheon. Not really going to be able to make much happen here. Pantheon is a very good turret diver because of his passive, being able to block one of those shots every 4 attacks, I believe. But we're once again having those bruisers go at it, mono-y-mono. But we currently have offense versus defense here. The double Doran's Blade versus the Ninja Tabby and the Chain Vest. And Renekton might be in a bit of a problem spot here. The Ignite going down, and Shyvana's going to pick herself up a kill, but here comes SaintVicious. This could be a great counter kill. If they can get the assist onto Renekton as well, this would be very, very worth it. There we go, and there's the assist as well, so definitely not a bad kill. And Renekton going back to pick up his Tiamat, which is going to give him insane wave clear. And with having that top tier turret down, the blue team has managed to secure a 2.5k gold lead, which 9.5 minutes into the game is pretty damn substantial. So 7-3 is the kill score, and we're just kind of back to the good old-fashioned farming game. So Vel'Koz getting that stun off, and there goes the ultimate. Look at the damage coming out. The flash having to be burned by Irelia, and that's going to be a kill. So very well played by this Vel'Koz, making sure that he uses his passive. It's a very underrated passive. It's about 200 true damage after you get 3 spell casts, and your ultimate with an additional spell can proc it twice. So that's a huge amount of true damage coming out of that Vel'Koz if he lands everything that he needs to, and he landed all of his abilities there, so tons and tons of burst damage coming out of him to pick off that Irelia. But I'm really intrigued to kind of see how Irelia is going to do in this mid lane. It kind of is like a different form of a Yasuo is how I would look at it. Being able to dash to minions, and if you kill them, resetting that dash. Kind of giving that strong mobility, but I just have the feeling that Yasuo would be better against the Vel'Koz, well, against the Vel'Koz than an Irelia would, because of Yasuo's ability to put up that wind wall and block pretty much everything that Vel'Koz can throw at him. But I'm always excited to see different picks. Irelia is slowly but surely coming back into the LCS. I know Wicked has been playing her a lot more on Alliance. I think that's pretty much the only person who's playing her right now, but she still seems to have her strengths. And I'll always remember, like, Wicked was one of the best, if not the best, Irelia player in the world for quite a long period of time. And it was always him and Froggen. Anivia for Froggen and Wicked's Irelia, they would get banned every single game. Like, those were 2 guaranteed bans, just to not have Froggen on Anivia and Wicked on Irelia. So I'd be excited to see her come back. But here comes the Pantheon gank again, separating Thresh horribly. So Caitlyn's going to pick up this Thresh. One more attack. That's going to be that one. And Pantheon running over towards the Lucian to try to pick that one up. But SaintVicious is going to be here. Going to try to maybe counter gank this. Caitlyn is quite low right now, but everybody else is pretty high up. But we have Renekton and Vel'Koz both coming down. And now this is a very crucial thing, because Elise is one of the best turret divers in the game, because she can repel and lose all turret aggro. And Renekton is not bad either. There's going to be a kill going on to the Elise. Caitlyn going down. Janna using her ultimate to try to scour people out a little bit, but Renekton taking a shit ton of damage is going to go down. The Ignite burning onto the Irelia, but the turret shots going down onto Lucian is going to be taken down. Irelia is going to pick up a double kill. Vel'Koz is going to pick up a kill, and SaintVicious picking up another kill on that Irelia. Wow, that was a lot of action going down in that bottom lane. But overall, 3 for 2 in favor of that blue team, and SaintVicious now sitting at 6-0-4. An insane score for this early in the game. So I'm really excited to see what SaintVicious can do with such an incredible lead this early in the game, and whether he can really become this sort of a carry jungle Elise, because Elise is one of those characters that can do a ton of damage. She can actually very well carry a game. Simply because of how tanky and how much damage she can do. But Thresh getting a little bit overzealous here. Going to put down the lantern, try to give himself some shielding. Going to have to flash away from the Irelia. Manages to grab the Irelia. Don't know what that's going to do. Just kind of saying, yo, what up? He's a little bit of a hooker. All in all, looking at the CS, Renekton winning a little bit over the Shyvana, about 20 CS nearly. Pretty big difference in the jungle, 12 CS. Not the worst thing, but considering the kill score going over for SaintVicious, that's where the big money's coming from. Bit of a lead in the mid lane. Not actually going to talk about that because Lucian might be taken down by this Irelia. That is going to be... Oh, and you burn the flash too. I hate it when that happens. You try to wait for the last moment to use your flash, and you end up dying as well as losing your flash. Always a really annoying thing to have happen. But Pantheon getting hooked in and getting killed. As I was just saying previously, 100-85 in favor of the Vel'Koz in that mid lane. Not to be surprised about that, because Vel'Koz does have incredible wave clear. Oh, I did have these two mixed up. I was like, wow, 82-6. That is a huge difference in the bot lane. But no, 93-82, so Caitlyn's still holding her own above that Lucian. Not by very much, but still enough, considering that she's died one more time. Yeah, you know, give props to Caitlyn. That long range really helping her out there, keeping the CS numbers up. So 13-7 is the score right now. A 5k gold lead in favor of this blue team at only 14.5 minutes into this game. 3 turrets to 1. I just want to see where SaintVicious's jungle is, gold is, compared to everybody else. So 6.3. So 300 gold above even the mid laner, who has 45 CS above him. And compared to the other jungle, he's 3k gold nearly. Just under 3k gold. Wow. So very, very big difference with that insane kill score coming out of SaintVicious right now. And you know what? I've always been a fan of SaintVicious. He's gotten a lot of what am I trying to say here? A lot of people have been kind of like making fun of him because of his smiting abilities. And you know, it's one of those things. I think it's good to see him playing a champion like Elise, because having your Q smite combo is very, very difficult to smite against. Having that big chunk of burst damage right before you smite makes it nearly impossible to smite against Elise. I have seen it happen, but very, very difficult. But he was arguably one of the best junglers in this game, and it spawned an entire new generation of junglers. I remember Insect saying that he really wanted to face SaintVicious because he had looked up to him as a jungler. So he's one of those original junglers that people really respected and really liked watching and wanted to play against. Kind of one of the godfathers of jungling. So I still have a lot of respect for SaintVicious. I think he's an incredibly good player. But probably getting close to the end of his career fully, I would think, depending on how long he wants to stay kind of in the Riot scene, whether he wants to start working for Riot or... I doubt we're going to be seeing any more of him in the LCS now that he's been replaced by Bunny Fufu in that support role. I just have to say, I love that name, Bunny Fufu. It's really funny to say, especially as a commentator when there's like something epic going on. It's like, and it looks like we have a huge engagement coming from Bunny Fufu. I don't know, just makes me really happy. But looks like the purple team is currently on the back foot here, and I don't blame them because they are so far behind right now. Nearly a 6k gold lead, but Renekton being chunked down quite a bit by this Shyvana. Shyvana having a lot of defensive items here, going for that Sunfire Cape very early. But it looks like we have the engage coming in from Pantheon, the Grand Skyfall coming in, but it looks like the Dragon form is going to come on, Dragon's Descent onto the Vel'Koz. He is going to manage to escape for right now. That's slow coming out of his Q, but everybody's trying to chase down this Vel'Koz. He ends up getting his almost his full ultimate off, doing a ton of damage, and picking off the Pantheon for his first kill of this fight. Vegeta lol on this Lucian going to get taken down by the Caitlyn, but it looks like Renekton is now going to have his way with Caitlyn. Going to hopefully take her down, and it looks like Irelia is going to be taken down as well. But it looks like Caitlyn has not gone down yet, but SaintVicious is definitely going to pick this one up. The Q jumping in on that one. He does not have his repel, but it looks like Thresh might actually be able to take down this Irelia, which is really kind of weird. But here comes Irelia, going to land that stun. Beautiful use of vision there, making sure that she was hidden from the Thresh and could just jump in there, get those Sheen procs off, and kill him. So, wow, that was a very, very big fight, and SaintVicious just barely survived that one. But with all that being said and done, a lot of damage being done to the second tier turret up in the top lane. But 15-10 is the kill score now. Still sitting with a 5k gold lead, so I believe that fight was more in favor of the blue team there. They got the Lucian, they got the Vel'Koz, they got the Thresh. Yeah, so I think it was 3-4-2. Yeah, I know the Caitlyn died, and the Pantheon died. You know what? It might have been 3-for-3. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, definitely. You know what? It's one of those things that being this far behind in a game, if you come out even on a fight, even that is a win for your team. Because you're just at this point trying to get gold anywhere you can. And the thing is, with the middle tier 1 turret and the bottom tier 1 turret being alive, there's a lot of gold available on the map for this purple team to even things up. But they just have not been able to get the push down. There's just been this relentless aggression from the blue team. So Irelia being hooked in here. She is not tanky at all. She's actually AP? Irelia? She has the Lich Bane, and she's got Sword Shoes, so she's really going for that kind of magic damage out of her, but it's making her incredibly squishy. So yeah, she's got 163 AP. That's really curious. Well, it's doing damage. Oops, no, don't toggle the help. I don't want help. So there goes the second tier turret for the blue team up in that top lane, and it looks like they're just going to keep this relentless aggression up on that inhibitor turret. One thing that the purple team does not have. Oh my god, the ultimate coming out. Disintegration! But it looks like Vel'Koz might actually die here. The Grand Skyfall going to be coming out. Is he going to? He's actually going to drop. He's going to try to pick this one off. A great flash coming out of Pantheon, and that is going to be a kill onto Vel'Koz. And now he's trying to get in here onto Lucian. Lucian being a little bit out of position is going to get picked off by Irelia. Renekton is going to kill the Irelia though, and Pantheon now running for his life. SaintVicious is easily going to pick that one up. One little poke. He got poked from behind. If you get my drift. Yeah, I don't know. Poke behind from the spider. Whatever. Yeah, so very interesting stuff we've got going on in this game. Irelia going with that AP. It seems to be doing quite a bit of damage, but oh my god, what a hook. But, you know, very, very squishy Irelia, and that is a champion that has to get right in, like, balls deep in these fights. So I'm not entirely sure how well this is going to work the later the game goes, or whether she's actually going to become a carry. Thresh is playing this so aggressively. And oh my god, Renekton, you did not make it out. You gotta run now. Caitlyn does have that headshot, might do a little bit more damage, but Irelia is actually gonna make it to him. So Irelia now doing some damage, a lot of damage actually coming out from that ultimate from Irelia. I wonder if there's an AP ratio on that, but oh my god, the damage coming down from Vel'Koz. That is going to be one dead Irelia. Wow. So I'm just gonna check Irelia, see if there is a, you know what, there is an AP ratio. It's not a fantastic AP ratio. It's what? 0.5 AP. So yeah, half of your AP goes towards that, but not too bad. SaintVicious now coming into this one, trying to do some damage onto the Caitlyn. Gonna take a little bit of poke back himself. And it looks like we're just gonna kind of go back to a little bit of farming. Caitlyn's still over Lucian in CS, which is definitely a good thing. Caitlyn does have that late game terror aspect to her. She has not decided to go for an Infinity Edge, so she's gonna kind of be missing that that tank killing status, which Caitlyn normally has in the late game. And I'm actually kind of surprised by her build. I think she's going to be going for that static shiv, just to get her attack speed up, get some crits going on. But without building that last Whisper or that Infinity Edge early, you're not going to be able to take down the front line. And it's not like you're going to be getting into Vel'Koz or Lucian, or really, Thresh is going to be kind of frontline tank. So you kind of put yourself in a weird position that you're going to have to hit Renekton and SaintVicious because they're going to be up in your face, but you're not really going to be doing much damage to them, so your damage is just kind of like nullified. And looking at the tankiness of SaintVicious, and also the Renekton now is getting quite tanky. You need to be able to take those guys down, or at least chunk them down and make them rethink going after you. But we're now 22 minutes into this game, 20-13, 41k to 33k. And we're just once again kind of back and forth in this farming, poking each other, having a time, loving the rift. And I'm kind of surprised that the blue team is not going for more of a little siege aspect here. With the wave clear that you get from Vel'Koz, it's one thing that the purple team just does not have. They have no great source of wave clear. So when you get into these sieges, you have no way of getting these minions down quickly. But it looks like we have the Grand Skyfall coming in. Oh, a great Dragon's Descent, pushing them into the Grand Skyfall, but a great Vel'Koz ultimate. That Disintegration Ray doing a ton of damage to Shyvana. And it looks like this is going to be a definitely one fight for the blue team. Killing the Pantheon and now not losing anybody. The Talisman of Ascension being popped by the Thresh. Renekton going in there onto the Caitlyn, trying to pick her off, but is not going to actually kill her. SaintVicious now coming in to try his hand at killing her. The Vel'Koz is going to pick off that Janna with a very nicely formed Q, it looked like. And the first inhibitor of the game is going to be going in favor of that blue team. And it looks like Irelia is trying to figure out a way to get in here. Nearly walks into the Thresh Hook. That probably would have been a dead Irelia. But it looks like Vel'Koz trying to just poke away here. Gets that slow down. Shyvana now trying to do a little bit of damage. They do have a couple healthy members, but oh my god, the flash and the ignite, so much damage. And that's going to be one dead Irelia. So once again, Irelia she's got 6 kills, which is pretty impressive, but she also has 6 deaths, so she's falling very, very quickly. I feel like she needs some sort of tank stats if she's going to actually survive in these team fights. So what else do we have going on here? Having that inhibitor down is going to mean that there's going to be super minions pushing down that mid lane, which is going to mean a lot of pressure for the purple team. Which, if I were the blue team, I would be trying to push the other lanes out just a little bit, go and buy your items, and then I would try to pressure Baron. Or pressure another inhibitor. It's definitely great when you have an inhibitor down to start pressuring some objectives. You know what, actually, since they have SaintVicious on their team, I would not pressure Baron. I'm just kidding. You know what, I'm not really kidding. He has kind of lost his smiting ability. It's one of those things, you know, it's, I think he said it previously actually, where jungling is a young man's game. It's kind of one of those true things. It's a very, very technical skill to be able to have the timing and the reaction time to get that smite down to make sure that you get it. But, I would still like to see them go for either the Baron or go for maybe the bottom second tier turret, or try to start pressuring that top tier turret, because at some point they're going to have to send somebody to deal with super minions pouring into their base. So, okay, that was a very strange Thresh play, really ballsy. But it looks like Renekton coming in from the back might actually work here. Pantheon taking a crap ton of damage. The Ignite going down on him. He is going to drop. Thresh is going to be the one picking up that kill. A great box actually blocking this entire corridor. And the Disintegration Ray coming out of Vel'Koz doing a lot of damage to Shyvana. And that's going to be one dead dragon. But he's actually going to pick up a double kill, picking up the Thresh and also SaintVicious' Elise. That's going to be his first death of the game. And a big shutdown bonus going to that Shyvana. 500 gold for a Shyvana who... The tankier she gets, the scarier it's going to be for especially Vel'Koz and Lucian, who she's just going to jump right to the back line for. Already has incredible tanky stats with that Spirit Visage and the Sunfire Cape with that Giant's Belt. So I'm hoping to see Shyvana go for a little bit of damage now, so that way she's actually a threat when she's in that back line, taking down Vel'Koz and Lucian. Normally you'd see a Shyvana at this point going for like a Blade of the Ruin King, just to make sure that she can actually take some people down. So I'm really, really looking for somebody here, but not going to find anybody. Just kind of walking around, frolicking through the brush, if you will. But we're currently sitting at an over 10k gold lead in favor of this blue team. And it's that 10k gold lead that always scares you in these games. That it's a very difficult point to come back from. Once they have that kind of lead, their itemization is so much better than yours. You have to get lucky at this point. You have to have a great engage. You have to either pick somebody off or pick somebody out if they get caught somewhere, or you have to pressure something and just get a good fight, but you have to get lucky a couple times in order to kind of even out that gold. But Death timers are starting to get a little bit longer, so if you manage to get a fight in your favor that really works for you, you can hopefully push down an inhibitor or at least get some objectives down to kind of even out this gold. But it looks like we have the blue team kind of focusing in around Baron. A lot of wards are being put over that wall by this Janna and the remainder of the team to try to keep some vision on it, because they know that it's definitely a threat that the blue team could go for. But it looks like they're not actually going to go for that. The inhibitor in the mid lane has respawned, so it looks like they're going to try and just get a free inhibitor here. Janna taking a ton of damage after getting snared up by StVicious' cocoon, but oh my god, Shyvana, you were going to get taken down so quickly by all 5 members. Pantheon even finishing his jump there. Now he's in a horrible position. He's going to be taken down. Who's going to get the kill? Double kill going for the Vel'Koz. And it looks like everybody was just kind of going in one by one. Just a little bit of mistiming for this team. And that's just going to be 2 very easy kills. Thresh trying to land a hook onto that, but it's not going to work. And it looks like the pings are now going down for the Baron. They know that there's no wards there right now because of that pink ward that they've had there for God knows how long. But they do have a ward in this brush, which means that the purple team is going to know that this is happening. But Pantheon has his, well, sorry, he doesn't have his Grand Skyfall available, but he's also dead. So he has no way of getting to this in time to actually stop it. So this is just going to be a free Baron for the blue team. Hopefully SaintVicious can land his smite on this one. Come on, and douche! He didn't even get the last hit. I think he wasn't really trying to get the last hit on that one, but I would have thought you'd be trying to practice that or something like that. At least whenever I'm jungling, and even if it's a free Baron, I try to practice my smiting just to make sure that if it is a pressure situation, I can get out of it. But it looks like the damage... Oh my god, the flash in the middle of them. Oh, that was such a fail flash. So Lucian gets picked off. He is not going to have his Baron buff anymore. But you still have 4 members of this team with Baron buff, but it looks like a lot of damage is going to be going down onto that Vel'Koz, taking him down just below half HP. But nothing else really going to happen from this one. He's just going to continue poking around. And it looks like they're just going to B, buy some items. Well, at least Renekton's going B to buy some items. I'm surprised to not see, I don't think the Thresh has gone back. Yeah, he's sitting at 1,500 gold, and Vel'Koz sitting at 2,500. So yeah, people definitely need to buy their items. I think Vel'Koz's probably going to go for a Void Staff, I would assume. And if he doesn't go for a Void Staff, I'm assuming he's going to go for a defensive item here. Yep, there you go. So he purchased that Void Staff. He's going to be doing just a freaking butt ton of damage. 12, 2, and 9 on that Vel'Koz, and 8, 1, and 13 for the SaintVicious. And with that Void Staff, very interesting pickup by SaintVicious, not going for his own magic penetration. He already kind of has enough with that Haunting Guise and his Sork Boots, but going for that Void Staff, meaning that Vel'Koz is going to be doing a ton more damage, and even the ultimate from Renekton is going to be doing a ton more damage. But the Dragon's Descent actually missing. Janna being pulled into that box, a great box actually, but the ultimate coming down, the Grand Skyfall from Pantheon, and the pickup is going to go to the Caitlyn onto SaintVicious. And it looks like now Azurite on that Thresh is going to be taken down. A great flash, though. Going to grab the Janna, try to do a little bit more damage with a great disintegration rate coming out of that Vel'Koz in coordination with that Lucian culling. And it looks like the Caitlyn is going to go down. Shyvana might be able to pick up this Lucian. No, the Lifesteal is just going to be too strong from the Lucian. And that's going to be not an ace, but 4. And oh my god, Lucian being picked off by the Pantheon. And are they going to be able to actually get in on this one? Vel'Koz just needs to land 1 Q to slow him down, but it doesn't look like they're actually going to be able to pick this one off. Renekton might be able to catch him with a slice and dice through, but nope, it looks like they're just going to try to tank down this turret a little bit, do a little bit more damage, but they're just going to run away from this one. So, you know what? Pretty even fight, I have to say. 3 for 4. Not the worst thing that the purple team can do, considering that they're 13k behind. At least you're getting some kills at some point, but it's things like that that you need those pickoffs, right? Is that they picked off SaintVicious' Elise, and they also picked off the Thresh, but then you look at the scary aspect of it where you picked off 2 people pretty damn successfully, and then you still got nearly aced by the remaining 3 people. And it was just a beautiful positioning. When you get them in that tri-brush area, in that small enclosed space, and you have the culling coming out of Lucian and the disintegration rate coming out of Vel'Koz, the damage is just nuts, and that's just going to blow up your team. So they really have to stop fighting in these enclosed areas because it is not working in their favor. So 32 minutes into this game, nearly 61.7k to 48.7k. This is looking very dire for the purple team. But they haven't surrendered. definitely keeping their chin held high. And it looks like we might have a very similar fight going on in this bot lane. Thresh being taken pretty low, the box going down. Irelia taking a ton of damage just from the Thresh alone. But it looks like the ultimate from Caitlyn is going to be enough to pick up that Thresh. But now we have the rest of the team. The Disintegration Ray coming out doing a ton of damage. It's going to be the first pick off. And Renekton picking up the Janna. And it looks like they're actually not going to chase the Pantheon and the Irelia. They're just going to go for the push here. Shyvana is there to defend, but she is not going to be able to defend against the remaining 4 members of this blue team. Pantheon and Irelia are now going back to base. But I really don't know how well they're going to be able to defend this one. They are probably going to get an inhibitor off of this. Renekton trying to scare off the Irelia from this defense. There's going to be the turret down, and now they're on their way to the inhibitor. The inhibitor in the mid lane has also respawned, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them rotate and pick off that one. It looks like that's exactly what they're going to do. They still have 11 seconds until Caitlyn comes up, so they're probably going to pick off this inhibitor and then head on B. Unless they want to try to pick a fight here, but it would be 4v5. So they are just backing off here. So 2 inhibitors down. With those 2 inhibitors down, there's going to be a stream of super minions coming through both of those lanes. I wouldn't be surprised to see them now go to the top lane to start a little bit of siege pressure on that top inhibitor turret and the inhibitor. Simply because you're going to have those super minions in there. You're going to have to send somebody in to... Oh my god. No, I've got to watch the bullet. I got to watch the bullet. Where did it go? Is it still flying? Oh, I thought it was going to still be flying. I saw it just randomly take a 90-degree turn. That was kind of cool. But we just kind of have the stalemate going on once again of the blue team now has a bunch of money to spend. They're going to go and just buy their items, and then they're going to just start the siege all over again. The dragon is available, so the purple team should definitely go and try to pick that one up. They don't have the jungler with them right now. He's just up in the jungle. But it looks like Shyvana and Caitlyn are going to try to pick that one up. Any gold is good gold right now for the purple team. Try to get them any kind of advantage. So 260 gold to each member of that team might be the difference between a completed item or not. We do have about a minute 15 until the Baron spawns. I really don't think that there's going to be another Baron fight coming up. I don't know why the blue team would want to risk. It's one of those main misconceptions when you're far in the lead that you do not need to risk the Baron. Especially against somebody like a Pantheon who can get in there with his Grand Skyfall, and when you combine the Grand Skyfall damage with his Smite damage and his Spear, it's a lot of damage, and you can easily steal that Baron away. And so you don't want to risk going for that Baron and having it potentially stolen, which could get the purple team right back into this game. They would still have a long way to go, mind you, but if you get the Baron and then you win a team fight and then you get an inhibitor, all of a sudden the gold's nearly equaled up, and now you have a much more interesting game. But they're not going for the Baron. They are doing exactly kind of what I said they were going to do, is just sieging up this top tier turret. Oh my god, 1Q taking Caitlyn down to nearly half HP, and Renekton just diving in there. Shyvana and Pantheon getting in there to try to take down this Lucian, but it's not going to be enough right now. But it looks like the Irelia is going to get in there and actually take down the Lucian, but a great disintegration from the disintegration ray from the Vel'Koz is what I'm trying to say. Picks up 2 kills. Renekton finally gets that Caitlyn. The ultimate being used by Janna. But a great hook coming out of Thresh, pulling her right into the box. Thresh is going to die, but he is going to pick up the ace for his team. And this is probably going to be the GG here. I do not see the purple team coming back, or the blue team waiting long enough for the purple team to come back to actually defend this one. The super minions are probably going to take this down without the blue team's help. So that's going to be a good game. Great game played by SaintVicious, an incredibly tanky but yet very strong Elise doing a ton of damage. And Vel'Koz, I'm really glad to see one of my first, I believe it is my first commentary of a high ELO Vel'Koz game, and he does that. 17-2 and 13, just an incredible score. And sadly, the API really did not really work out to the best of its ability. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that game, and I will see you guys in the next game.